This is the list of the newly approved deep seaport project by President Tinubu. Lagos State, Badagry Deep Seaport. Ondo State, Olakola Deep Seaport. Akwa Ibom State, Ibom Deep Seaport. Cross River State, Bakassi Deep Seaport. Rivers State, Bonny Deep Seaport. Remember, many Nigerians were saying that why will there be only Lagos that is having a deep seaport? What about other states? Now, President Tinubu have approved other states to reduce the congestion in Lagos State. Instead of Nigerians to be celebrating this good news done by President Tinubu, some people from the east, the Igbo people, are complaining. They are complaining again. Why is there no eastern state among the newly approved deep seaports? Why no state from the east is being given license to have a deep seaport? And that the Igbos are being marginalized again. My Igbo people, I know majority of you are not well educated because you spend more time on doing business than education. But I will educate you people today. Firstly, approval for deep seaports or seaports were given to states and individuals who applied for them. Remember, some time ago, Alhaji Aliko Dangote applied for a seaport and he was given license. He got it. Secondly, if Anambra State has access to sea and applied for a deep seaport license, it will be granted so that traders and businessmen in Onitsha market can receive their containers and goods directly. Also, in the history of Nigeria, Imo State was the first ever state to be granted license to build a state-owned airport far back in 1984. And other tribes did not come out and start complaining because they knew that they did not apply, and that if they applied, they will also be granted. And they know that it is because Imo State as at then applied for it, that was why it was granted. It was not granted because Imo State is in the east. No, it was granted because they applied for it. And federal government will give license to any individual or any state depending on whatsoever thing, if federal government is sure that you can do it. Why will federal government not grant you? Thirdly, the whole of Southeast, there is no sea in Southeast. There is no access to sea. No access to sea in the whole of Southeast. Therefore, it is not possible to have a seaport in Anambra State. Because for you to have a seaport, you must first have access to sea. And the whole of Southeast, there is no access to sea. I'm not talking about river, not River Niger. Sea. and the whole of southeast is landlocked. It is a dry land. It is a dry land. Let nobody deceive you. The whole of southeast is a dry land. It is landlocked, and as such, there is no way federal government will have or build a seaport in the east. Remember, let me take you to long time ago. Remember, some time ago, federal government dredged the river Niger and built what we call the Onitsha River Port some time ago. But what happened to it? Was it useful? No, it was not useful. The Igbo people refused to patronize it, and it remained idle till today. And if Ndigbo was really serious about the development of Southeast and having a seaport, they would have patronized it. But what did they do? They refused. All the Onitsha traders and businessmen still ran to Lagos and Rivers State and refused to patronize their own. And this is one of the problems Ndigbo are always having. They don't develop their states, and that is one of the main reasons why Southeast is mostly underdeveloped till today, because Ndigbo hardly developed their region. This Onitsha River Port has been commissioned for like 3 times. That is to tell you how serious federal government were. It has been commissioned for like 3 times. Back then, under the president regime of Shehu Shagari, far back in 1983, federal government spent over $100 million. $100 million in dredging and building that Onitsha River Port. But what happened? Igbos refused to patronize it. They left it to waste. Again, during the Obasanjo regime, federal government also spent money to make it possible. What still happened? Igbos refused to use it. During the Jonathan regime, federal government also spent money, huge amount of money, in dredging it. What still happened? Ndigbo still refused to use it. So far, federal government have spent over $1 billion in dredging and making that Onitsha River Port. But what happened? Ndigbo still refused to use it, and now they are shouting for seaport, whereas they don't have sea in the whole of Ndigbo. So they are telling federal government to connect them to sea. Do you know how much it will cost federal government to connect Southeast through dredging of River Niger to the sea? Over $20 billion. Now tell me, would you want federal government to waste $20 billion in the east for connecting them to the sea and building a seaport that they will not use? Whereas other states that have sea, federal government will not spend that kind of money, and yet they will be connected to the sea because already they have sea, they are connected to sea. So tell me, why will federal government waste that huge amount of money just for connecting the Southeast to the sea? Can't you see that Southeast is a dry land, and Southeast don't have access to sea? And if federal government even dredge the River Niger again, with $20 billion and connect the southeast to the sea. Don't you know that after some time it will still be blocked? Because the river Niger is not sea, it will still be blocked with sand again, and that access to sea will be blocked. So therefore it will become a waste of federal government resources or taxpayers' money for connecting the southeast to the sea. I will not advise any government to take such wasteful development. If you remember, when late Ojukwu was drafting the Biafra land, he included Rivers State and the Niger Delta, because far back then late Ojukwu knows that the whole of southeast does not have access to sea. He knows that, and that was why he was dragging other regions as part of Biafra land, because he knows that if given the east alone, it is a dry land and there is no way he would have access to sea, and that would have impoverished the Biafra he wants to attain. It would have impoverished the people and he would have been suffocated. And that was the reason why late Ojukwu as at then was dragging other states like the Rivers, the Niger Delta as part of Biafra land, whereas these people are not part of Biafra. But late Ojukwu, because of their selfish interests, because of their personal interests, their selfish gain, they were dragging this other region, claiming them to be Igbo land, claiming them to be part of Biafra, just because they needed access to sea. Again, I will still tell my Igbo brothers, river is not sea. River Niger you are seeing along Onitsha Bridge, it is not sea, it is a river, not an ocean. And many Igbo people, because of lack of education, they are shouting up and down that President Tinubu is marginalizing the East. My Igbo people, education is not scam. Education is not scam. Please, you people should try and get some good quality education, and this will help you people with your judgment and your mentality. Yes, this my Igbo brothers, it will help you people in your thinking and in your mentality. And I would advise federal government to make geography mandatory and compulsory for the people of Southeast in elementary school. Yes, in elementary school levels, geography should be mandatory, because many of them don't even know how their region is. Many of them don't know how the Southeast is being located. Any little thing, they are always shouting marginalization. Just like this, they don't know that where their state is located on a dry land, because they don't know geography. Many of them did not do geography. So I would advise for federal government to make geography mandatory and compulsory for the people of the Southeast, and this will help them may get more understanding on their region. I have said my own, and if you like content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe and follow my channel. And if you have anything to say, let me know in the comment section. Thank you.